From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, January the 17th, 2018. Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas once again condemned the recent U.S. recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Abbas gave a speech at the Al-Azhar University in Cairo, Egypt, where he said that Jerusalem would be a gate for peace only when it's the capital of Palestine, saying that Jerusalem would also be a gate for war, insecurity, and instability if it isn't the capital of Palestine. Abbas said that U.S. President Donald Trump would have to choose between the two. His remarks in Cairo follow a speech that he gave in Ramallah in the West Bank on Sunday, which drew strong condemnation from Israel as well as from Jewish organizations here in the U.S., over Abbas's rejection of a Jewish connection to the land of Israel and denying the legitimacy of the State of Israel. Meanwhile, U.S. Special Representative for International Negotiations Jason Greenblatt is said to be back in Israel today in an attempt to calm tensions, and would reportedly be meeting with members of the Middle East Quartet, which is the United States, Russia, the European Union, and the United Nations. An IDF soldier who was critically injured during Israel's war with Lebanon in 1987 died this week. IDF Sergeant Abraham Ajami sustained severe head injuries 31 years ago when he was 19 years old and has since been in a vegetative state. His condition worsened recently and he passed away Tuesday night at the age of 50. Ajami was laid to rest today, the last fallen IDF soldier from that conflict. Former Nazi guard Oskar Groening is closer to actually serving time for his crimes. Prosecutors in Germany today rejected a plea for clemency from the man known as the bookkeeper of Auschwitz. As you may recall, the 96-year-old was convicted in 2015 of being an accessory to the murder of 300,000 Jews at the death camp and sentenced to 4 years in prison. But he has been at his home since then, awaiting various appeals and rulings. Last month was his last appeal on the basis of his age and physical condition, but that was rejected. The clemency plea was submitted by Groening's lawyers yesterday. Following the rejection of that plea today, prosecutors are expected to summon Groening soon to begin serving his sentence. Well, a plaque in New York City's Canyon of Heroes honoring a Nazi collaborator will remain in place. The plaque was installed in 2004 in the sidewalks of Lower Manhattan, part of a tribute to people who have been honored with ticker tape parades in the city, like the one in 1931 that honored Henri Philippe Pétain for defending France during World War I. However, Pétain, who was chief of state in the then Vichy regime, was also responsible in 1940 for rounding up thousands of Jews in France and handing them over to the Nazis. After deliberations, the city said the plaque would stay in place, but context and historical information could be added, saying that if a marker is accurate and not celebratory of egregious values or actions, it should not be removed. New York's Jewish community had pushed for the removal, as had the World Jewish Congress, whose executive director Betty Ehrenberg told the Times of Israel that she hoped the city would reconsider. Ehrenberg said New York, a city of so many faiths, cultures, and ethnic groups, is a bastion of tolerance and diversity and must teach a better historical lesson for now and for the future. The Canyon of Heroes, by the way, also includes Israel's first Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion and U.S. President John F. Kennedy. British sculptor Anish Kapoor has pledged his Genesis Prize winnings to helping refugees around the world. Kapoor won the $1 million prize, which is sometimes referred to as the Jewish Nobel, last year. It recognizes individuals for accomplishments and for actions embodying the character of the Jewish people. Kapoor, who was born to an Indian father and Iraqi Jewish mother, said directing Genesis Prize funds to this cause is a way of helping people who, like my forebears not too long before them, are fleeing persecution. Among the 5 organizations Kapoor is giving to, the International Rescue Committee, the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, now known as HIAS, and Hillel International. Hillel director Eric Fingerhut said the grant from Kapoor will enable students to help thousands of refugees from the Syrian conflict. Fingerhut said in doing so, our students will be contributing to a tradition of pursuing justice as a religious and moral obligation, thanking Kapoor for the opportunity to bring more justice, light, and peace to those who need it most. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, January the 17th. At 7 o'clock, it's from the Aleph Bet. At 7:35, remarks from Ruth Bader Ginsburg at the 2016 GA. At 8, a look at the legacy of Portuguese Jewry. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Sephardic Jewish leader Rabbi Eli Abadi on L'chaim, who talks about the challenges of promoting Sephardic Jewish culture on the American Jewish scene. And at 10, we bring you highlights from the 2015 Sephardic Jewish Film Festival. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, it's Thinking Out Loud with Micah Halpern. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, January the 17th, 2018. I'm Teisha Bader.